Hi, first graders. Happy Friday. We are coming to the end of week 8. Can you believe it? You've been doing a really nice job this week on the Codenames challenges. Here are the answers from yesterday's Codenames puzzle. Yesterday's clue was water 2. I wanted you to highlight or circle the fish and the water toys. Those are the two pictures that went with the clue, water 2. I'm just realizing that I forgot to show you a picture of our finished patio. Do you remember almost 2 weeks ago, it was on a Monday, I showed you pictures of the project Mr. Baker and I were working on in our backyard? Well, here is the finished product. We are so excited to get a table out there and spend a lot of time out there this summer. Here's our morning note, friends. Dear first graders, today is Friday. You have been working so hard on your schoolwork. Remember, I will not be posting anything new on Monday because it is Memorial Day. Enjoy your long weekend. Have a fantastic Friday. Love, Mrs. Baker. Remember to go on Seesaw if you are able and make corrections to this note. For math today, there are actually 2 lessons from the chapter put together. That's a lot of work to do, first graders. I understand that. So here are some choices for you. You can either do all of the pages but not do them all at once and just kind of spread it out. Or you can work with somebody at home to decide when you have mastered a skill and are ready to move on to the next thing and not even do all of the problems. That's up to you and somebody at home to decide. Here is the short little walkthrough for the lessons. We are going to begin today by talking about circles. At the bottom, it says fish blow bubbles in the shape of circles. Finish drawing the bubbles the fish blew. You can see some of those bubbles are not complete. They are not closed shapes. Then draw 4 more bubbles. With somebody at home, you can describe the shapes and write how many sides and vertices. On the screen here, I've highlighted the bubbles that you need to complete, the bubbles you need to close. I've also added 4 more bubbles. You can see those in pink. Now, first graders, is the tricky part. How many sides and vertices do circles have? Remember, sides are straight edges. Do circles have straight edges? Are there any areas where 2 lines meet on a circle? Does it have any vertices? Circles do not have any straight sides or straight edges, so it has 0 sides. Circles also do not have anywhere where 2 lines meet, so there are 0 vertices. When you turn the page, you will find the top of page 648. It explains what circles are there. It says, circles are 2-dimensional shapes. They are closed and round. They do not have sides and vertices. So take a look at that circle, friends. Does it have any straight edges? No, so put a 0 next to sides. Does it have any vertices? Nope, so you can trace over that 0 there. The directions for numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 say write how many sides and vertices. First graders, I see 4 circles there. So will there be any sides? Will there be any vertices? Go ahead and write your answers for these problems. You are going to do the same thing for numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8. Write how many sides and vertices. It's great practice to recognize this, first graders, but if you understand the concept already from numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can go ahead and just put an X over this part. That is okay. Number 9 says circle the objects that match the first shape. I see a circle next to number 9, first graders. What other circles do you see on that row? Circle those objects. Number 10 says circle the closed shapes. So if you see any open circles, first graders, do not circle those because they are not closed. Only circle the complete circles. I feel like I'm saying the word circle an awful lot. Number 11 at the top of page 650 says, I am a closed two-dimensional shape that has no sides or vertices. Write the name of the shape, and then it says, draw a picture of the shape. So you are going to write the name of the shape on the line, and somewhere by number 11, you can draw a picture of that shape. Number 12 says, draw a picture of a two-dimensional shape. You can draw any two-dimensional shape you want, first graders. You could draw a rectangle, you could draw a square, a triangle, a trapezoid. After you draw that shape, you are going to answer the next part of this question. It says, how many more sides and vertices does it have than a circle? So how many sides and how many vertices does that shape have? Number 13 says, Majid describes this shape as a two-dimensional shape with 4 sides. Majid is wrong. Make it right. All you have to do, first graders, is write how many sides this circle has. Be sure to write in a complete sentence. That means you should have a capital letter, proper spacing between your words, and a period at the end of your sentence. Like I said before, we are going to do 2 lessons today. That's a lot of work, first graders, and if you want the extra practice, you are welcome to do all of the papers, or as you begin to understand a concept, maybe somebody at home could help you recognize that and let you just move on a little bit faster through the activity. Now you are going to find the page 653. It should look like this. I'm going to change the directions at the bottom just a little bit, first graders. Instead of using the attribute block, circles, squares, rectangles, and triangles, I'm going to have you just draw those shapes. So on the left side, you are going to draw shapes that have 4 sides. On the right side, you are going to draw shapes that have less than 4 vertices. So if you take a look at the examples I put up here, all of the shapes on the left side have 4 sides. I have drawn a square, a rectangle, and a trapezoid. The squares on the right side have less than 4 vertices. A triangle has 3 vertices, so I put 2 different triangles on there. And a circle has 0 vertices. 0 is less than 4, and so is 3. At the top of page 654, it says you can compare and sort two-dimensional shapes. So on the left side there, it says circle the shapes that have straight sides. You are going to trace over the circles around the triangle and the rectangle because those shapes have straight sides. On the right side, it says circle the shapes with more than 3 vertices. You can trace over the circles around the square and the rectangle because those shapes have more than 3 vertices. We are just going to be comparing shapes today and noticing their different attributes. The directions for number 1, 2, 3, and 4 say circle the shapes described. Number 1, shapes with 4 straight sides. So look at that set of two-dimensional shapes and circle the objects with 4 straight sides. Number 2, shapes with 3 vertices. Number 3, shapes with 4 sides the same length. And number 4, shapes with 3 sides and 3 vertices. On page 655, you are going to continue to listen to the descriptions I say and circle those shapes. Number 5, shapes with 0 vertices. Number 6, shapes with 4 sides. Number 7, shapes with straight sides. Number 8, shapes with 0 vertices. Number 9, shapes with 0 straight sides. And number 10, shapes that are not curved. If you need to go back, first graders, and listen to those descriptions and pause each time I give a description so you have time to work, please do that. The last page today, page 656. Number 11 at the top says Madeline sees these objects in her school. How many of these objects have more than 3 sides? Go ahead and count the objects that have more than 3 sides. For example, that clock has more than 3 sides. I see other objects that have more than 3 sides. Go ahead and count all of those up and put your answer on the line for number 11. Number 12 says circle all of the same type of shapes and explain how you know those are all the same. So you can either say these shapes are all, or this shape is a, and it depends on which shape you decide to circle, first graders, which sentence you will write.